If you have your own trucks, that means you have your own motor carrier or what's called an operating authority. You've applied for an operating authority with the FMCSA, which is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. You got your MC number and your DOT number. MC is motor carrier number, DOT is Department of Transportation number. These are, for every truck driver out here, if you see trucks on the road, you're going to see numbers on the side of their doors. Those numbers represent the operating authority identifier for that trucking company. So if you start a trucking company, you're going to get that as well if you go through all the steps that's required to start a trucking company. So you have a trucking company over here, so you're dispatching your own trucks internally for your company under a business name, ABC Trucking, let's say. Then next, you form a dispatching company, another business, another entity structure, another LLC, EIN. So they're separate. The businesses are separate. You got a separate trucking company that you're dispatching internally for, and you own the company, and then you've created a dispatching business with your own legal structure and EIN to that, and you're dispatching not only for yourself or for other owner operators. You're dispatching over here for your own trucking company under your trucking company's name, and you're dispatching for other owner operators under your legal dispatching company. So they're different. And as a dispatcher, I get this a lot. You do not need to have an operating authority to be an independent freight dispatcher. That is not a requirement for dispatchers. That is a requirement for freight brokers and motor carriers. You do not need to apply for an operating authority, fill out the OP1 form on the FMCSA website. It says application for motor carrier and freight broker. It does not, nowhere on there does it say dispatcher. You can look it up. www.fmcsa.dot.gov. Go to register or go to apply for operating authority. Click the OP1 form. It says application, literally application for motor carrier and property broker. The word dispatcher is nowhere on that form. So if you keep your dispatching business separate from your trucking company, then that's the best way to do it.
And if I don't do that, that's
then it's going to be liability and tax purposes and stuff like that, because you can do something bad on one side that can affect both businesses. So for example, you can mess your operating authority up for your trucking side, and it can affect your if it's under the same entity, under the same EIN, under the same LLC, it can affect it for liability and conflict. Now there's a conflict of interest, there's tax purposes and things like that. But if you keep them separate, what happens to one is oblivious to the other, right? So that's the best way to go. Just like if a person wants to be a motor carrier and start a freight brokerage, if they keep them separate, then what happens to one doesn't affect the other. But if they're under the same entity structure, LLC, EIN, what happens to one can affect the other because it's under the same. You can have a ABC Trucking doing business as, or DBA, ABC Freight Brokerage, and you do something to affect the brokerage, it can potentially affect the trucking side too, because it's the same entity. So you have to understand. I would get with a CPA, a tax person, to understand how that works, because I'm not a tax person. I'm just telling you it's better to keep them separate for those purposes. End of the year extravaganza. We're having a 50% off sale, half off. It's a promo code. Click the link in the bio. Take advantage of the end of the year 50% off sale before it's too late. Thank you.